Today, I want to share with you a profound insight that can truly change your life. Are you ready to dive deep into the incredible power of your mind? We're about to embark on a journey that will unlock the secrets to manifesting anything you desire. You know, when I think about individuals like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, the Wright brothers, and Joan of Arc, I see a common thread. They all had a vision so vivid and alive in their minds that it fueled their actions and shaped their destinies. But here's the thing, they couldn't touch it, smell it, taste it, or feel it physically. It existed purely in their minds. Now let me ask you a question. Can you believe in a future that you can't perceive with your senses, but have vividly imagined in your mind? The latest research in neuroscience tells us that not only can you believe in it, but you can also change your brain from living in the past to living in the future. In Shisho. You see, when you start contemplating a potential reality, your brain's creative center, the frontal lobe, wakes up. This part of your brain is like the CEO, the boss, the symphony leader. It connects to all other parts of the brain, and when it activates, magic happens. So imagine you're pondering questions like, what would it be like to be a leader? What would it be like to be successful? These open-ended questions kickstart the creative process. The frontal lobe begins selecting different networks of neurons stored in your brain, piecing them together in new sequences and patterns. Now here's where it gets exciting. For those who are truly passionate about their vision, their thoughts generate elevated emotions, inspiration, enthusiasm, passion. They open their hearts, and this combination of a clear intention and an elevated emotion starts to change them biologically and fundamentally. Enter epigenetics, the groundbreaking field that tells us we can change our body by thought alone. Your body doesn't distinguish between an external event and what you're creating internally. It believes it's living in that envisioned future in the present moment, signaling new genes in new ways. When there's physical evidence in your brain and body that looks like the event has already occurred, you've shifted from living in the past to living in the future. And guess what happens then? You start walking right into your vision. Now let's reason together. The frontal lobe, the CEO of your brain, is responsible for creativity. When you get creative, it selects different networks, making your brain fire in new sequences. This, my friends, is changing your mind because mind is the brain in action. Picture this. You've had that aha moment. You've envisioned your future, and now you're out of your resting state. You start planning, setting goals, and making choices aligned with that vision. But here's the brilliant part. You also identify the choices you won't make, the behaviors you won't demonstrate. You separate the old self from the new self. When you observe the old self, you're no longer the program, you're the consciousness observing the program. You've objectified your subjective self. This, my friends, is the moment of transformation. You're heading towards the new self, and yes, it's uncomfortable. Now let me share a fascinating neuroscience experiment with you. We took people who had never played the piano and divided them into 4 groups. The first group practiced scales and chords physically. The second group played without instruction. The third group did nothing. And the fourth mentally rehearsed the exercises. What happened? The fourth group, the ones who mentally rehearsed, showed the same brain activity as the physical players. They grew new circuits in their brains just by thinking. Think about that, just by thinking. Learning is making new connections in the brain. Memory is sustaining those connections through repetition. Every time we learn something new, we're making neurological connections. So, what if you made it a daily practice to mentally rehearse the greatest version of yourself? Now here's where it gets really interesting. During this process of rehearsal, individuals often lose track of time and space. They become so engrossed in the mental imagery that they walk through the door to the quantum field. Neuroscience tells us that this is the moment when we repattern and rewire the brain. Now let's dive deeper into the incredible world of your mind. Have you ever wondered where all these changes are happening within you? Well, my friends, the most active player in this transformational orchestra is none other than the subconscious mind operating quietly below the surface of your awareness. So what is this subconscious mind and why does it play such a crucial role in the process we've been discussing? Imagine it as the backstage director, the silent maestro, orchestrating the symphony of your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It's like the hidden powerhouse that influences your life in ways you might not even realize. The subconscious mind is that part of your brain that works tirelessly behind the scenes, managing an incredible array of functions without you consciously thinking about it. It's responsible for storing memories, regulating bodily functions, and even shaping your automatic behaviors and reactions. You can think of it as the engine that keeps everything running smoothly in the background. Now, why is it so pivotal when we talk about making thought more real than anything else? Well, my friends, the answer lies in the fact that the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. It takes everything you feed into it, whether it's a concrete experience or a vividly imagined scenario, and accepts it as truth. When we discuss the brain's activity below the surface, we're talking about the subconscious mind being fully engaged. In that profound moment when you're deeply immersed in mental rehearsal, you're not just daydreaming or wishful thinking, you're making thought more real than anything else. You're sending a powerful message to the subconscious mind, telling it that this envisioned future is your reality here and now. Picture this. Your subconscious mind doesn't comprehend the limitations of your physical body or the constraints of the external environment. In that magical moment of mental rehearsal, you're transcending these limitations. You're stepping beyond the boundaries of what seems possible based on your current circumstances. It's like telling your subconscious mind, hey, this vision I'm holding in my mind, it's not confined by the walls of my body or the circumstances around me. It's a reality I'm creating within, and I want you to believe it too. This transcendence is a game changer. It's the moment when your thoughts become more potent than the physical reality you're currently living. You're no longer bound by the constraints of what you can see, touch, or feel in the external world. Instead, you're tapping into the boundless potential of your mind, where the subconscious plays a leading role in turning your thoughts into tangible transformations. So, here's the takeaway. Embrace the power of your subconscious mind. Understand that, in those moments of deep mental rehearsal, you're not just thinking thoughts, you're actively shaping your reality. By making thought more real than anything else, you're rewriting the script of your life. You're telling your subconscious mind that this envisioned future isn't just a dream, it's a reality unfolding within you. Now, let's tie it all together. Just like the piano players who made it the most important thing, you can do the same. Dedicate time every day to mentally rehearse the greatest ideal of yourself. Let go of distractions, immerse yourself in the vision, and let time become a secondary consideration. When you consistently make thought more real than anything else, you're not just changing your mind, you're changing your biology, your internal landscape. You're moving from living in the past to living in the future, and that's when you start witnessing profound transformations in your life. So my friends, you can have anything you want if you commit to hacking your mind. The power is within you, and it all begins with the incredible, limitless potential of your own thoughts.